The Atlantic Ocean is a graveyard. It is a vast, lightless abyss that has swallowed thousands of ships, thousands of secrets, and millions of souls. But usually, when the ocean claims a vessel, it takes everything. It leaves no trace. Usually. It is December 4th, 1872. We are perfectly midway between the Azores and the coast of Portugal. The waters are choppy, the wind is biting. Sailing through this desolate stretch is the Dei Gratia, a British merchant brigantine under the command of Captain David Morehouse. It has been a grueling journey from New York. At approximately 1 p.m., the helmsman spots something on the horizon. Through the thick, gray mist, a silhouette appears. It's another ship, a twin-masted brigantine heading straight toward them. But something is horribly wrong. The ship is moving erratically, like a drunkard stumbling in the dark. Its sails are torn, violently flapping in the wind. It is yawing wildly. Captain Morehouse raises his brass spyglass. He recognizes the vessel. It is the Mary Celeste. She had left New York 8 days before him. She should have been in Genoa, Italy by now. Morehouse signals the ship. No answer. He signals again. Nothing. The deck is completely empty. There is no one at the helm. The ship is steering itself. Morehouse orders his first mate, Oliver Deveau, to take a small rowboat and board the Mary Celeste. Deveau and 2 sailors row across the freezing, violent swells. They pull themselves up the wooden hull. They step over the railing. They call out, "Is anyone there?" Silence. Only the creaking of wet wood and the howling wind. They are standing on a ghost ship. And what they are about to find down below will baffle the greatest minds, investigators, and historians for the next 150 years. Let's move forward in the story if you want the full brief. Deveau draws his knife, slowly walking down the slippery deck. The first thing he notices is the eerie perfection of it all. There is no sign of a struggle, no blood on the deck, no bullet holes, no shattered wood from a pirate cannon. They descend the dark, narrow steps into the ship's belly. The air is thick, smelling faintly of salt and something sharp, something chemical. They enter the captain's quarters. It is frozen in time. A sewing machine sits on a desk, a child's unfinished dress still resting beneath the needle. A piano stands in the corner, sheet music perfectly arranged. The captain's bed is unmade, holding the distinct imprint of a small child. In the galley, the ship's stove is shifted slightly out of place, but the provisions, food and water to last a crew of 10 for over 6 months, are perfectly intact. They check the cargo hold. The Mary Celeste was carrying 1,701 wooden barrels of highly concentrated toxic denatured alcohol. Deveau notices that 9 of these barrels are empty, but the rest are perfectly secured. The ship has not been robbed. The ship has not starved. The ship has not sunk. So where are the people? Deveau finds the captain's logbook sitting on the mate's desk. The final entry is dated November 24th, 10 full days ago. 10 days. For over a week, this massive ship had been sailing itself through brutal winter storms, entirely abandoned. But then, Deveau notices what is missing. The ship's navigational instruments, the sextant and the marine chronometer, are gone. The ship's register and papers are gone. And most chilling of all, the ship's single lifeboat, the yawl, has been forcibly ripped from its moorings. The thick main halyard, a heavy rope used to hoist the sails, has been severed, not untied, slashed with a heavy blade, trailing deep into the dark ocean behind the ship. They didn't just leave, they fled. They abandoned a perfectly seaworthy, unsinkable ship in the middle of the raging Atlantic, piling into a tiny, fragile rowboat. Whatever terrified Captain Benjamin Briggs, it was worse than the fear of the open ocean. To understand why they jumped into the abyss, you must understand the man who made the order. Captain Benjamin Briggs was not a coward. He was a master mariner, an American sailor of the highest pedigree. He was deeply religious, strictly sober, and fiercely devoted to his family. He wasn't sailing alone. He had brought his wife, Sarah, and their 2-year-old daughter, Sophia. Sophia's toys were left scattered on the cabin floor. The crew consisted of 7 experienced, highly respected sailors, 2 Americans and 4 Germans. There were no criminals on board, no known enemies. It was a peaceful, professional voyage. On November 7, 1972, they sailed out of the East River in New York, straight into the teeth of autumn weather. For 2 weeks, they battled horrific gales, winds that could snap a mast in half, waves that could swallow a house. Yet Briggs navigated it flawlessly. By November 24th, the weather had broken. They were approaching the Azores. Safety was within reach. But something happened on that morning. Something so sudden, so apocalyptic in their minds, that Captain Briggs ordered his wife, his infant daughter, and his hardened crew to abandon ship. Imagine the sheer panic. A seasoned captain yelling to abandon ship when the ship isn't sinking. The frantic lowering of the tiny yawl. Sarah Briggs clutching 2-year-old Sophia against the freezing spray of the Atlantic. 7 men grabbing the only tools they could, the sextant and the compass, leaving their life savings, their warm clothes, and their food behind. They tied that heavy rope from the lifeboat to the Mary Celeste. They were being towed behind the massive ship, waiting to see what would happen. And then, the rope snapped. Imagine Captain Briggs, floating in a tiny wooden shell, watching his ship, his only means of survival, sail away into the fog, abandoning his family to the freezing, infinite void of the ocean. Oliver DeVoe and the crew of the Dei Gratia sailed the ghost ship to Gibraltar to claim their salvage rights. They expected a hero's welcome and a massive payout for saving the ship and its cargo. Instead, they walked into an interrogation room. The Attorney General of Gibraltar, Frederick Solly Flood, was a paranoid and ruthless man. He did not believe in ghosts. He believed in murder. Solly Flood accused Captain Morehouse and his crew of piracy. His theory? The crew of the Dei Gratia ambushed the Mary Celeste, slaughtered Captain Briggs, his wife, the baby, and the entire crew, threw their bodies to the sharks, and staged the ghost ship to claim the salvage money. He ordered a forensic examination of the ship, and suddenly he found his proof. Investigators found what looked like dark, dried blood smeared on the captain's sword. They found dark red stains on the wooden deck. They found deep gashes on the ship's railing, resembling the strikes of an axe. The media erupted. The story of a bloody mutiny, of a murderous salvage crew spread across the globe. The Dei Gratia crew were treated like serial killers. But science tells a different story. Months later, an actual scientific analysis was conducted on the blood stains. It wasn't blood, it was rust. The sword wasn't covered in gore, it was covered in sea salt corrosion. The axe marks on the railing, they were standard nautical wear and tear from dragging heavy cargo over the edge. There was no murder. Solly Flood's accusations fell apart, but the damage was done. The crew of the Dei Gratia received only a fraction of their salvage reward, their reputations ruined. The court was left with a horrifying realization. No one killed the crew of the Mary Celeste. Something else made them jump. If not mutiny and not pirates, what happened? Over 150 years, experts, oceanographers, and even authors like Arthur Conan Doyle have tried to solve the puzzle. Here are the facts we must reconcile. The ship was safe. The lifeboat was violently detached. 9 barrels of toxic alcohol were completely empty. Theory 1. The seaquake and the waterspout. The Azores is a highly active seismic zone. A massive underwater earthquake could have sent violent tremors up through the hull. At the same time, a waterspout, a horrific tornado made of ocean water, could have formed nearby. The sudden drop in barometric pressure caused the water in the ship's pumps to behave erratically. Briggs checks the pumps, sees water rushing in abnormally, and in a moment of sheer panic, assumes the ship is going down. Theory 2. The ergot poisoning. A more terrifying psychological theory suggests the crew's flour supply was contaminated with ergot, a fungus that grows on rye. Ergot contains the chemical precursors to LSD. Did the entire crew suffer a collective, violent, hallucinogenic nightmare? Did they see demons in the water and jump in madness? Unlikely, as there were no signs of chaotic struggle. Theory 3, the most likely truth, the invisible fire. This is what modern historians believe actually happened, and it is a masterclass in psychological terror. Remember the cargo? 1,700 barrels of crude, highly volatile, denatured alcohol. These barrels were made of red oak, a porous wood. During the violent 2-week storm, the ship tossed and turned. The barrels ground against each other. 9 of them ruptured. Hundreds of gallons of pure, explosive alcohol leaked into the dark, unventilated belly of the ship. The fumes began to rise. November 24th. The storm passes. The sun comes out, heating the wooden deck. Down in the hold, the alcohol vapor expands. It reaches critical mass. Suddenly, the heavy wooden hatch covers are blown off by a massive change in pressure. A phenomenon known as a blue fire or flash fire occurs. A silent, low-temperature explosion of chemical gas. A wave of blue flame rolls through the cargo hold. It is terrifying, but it burns so fast it leaves no scorch marks on the wood. Captain Briggs sees the hatch covers blow off. He smells the overwhelming stench of alcohol fumes. He believes he is sitting on top of a 1,700-barrel bomb that is seconds away from vaporizing his wife and child. He screams the order, "Abandon ship!" They drop the sails immediately to stop the ship. They launch the yawl. They tie the tow rope, putting 300 feet of distance between them and the bomb. They wait in the freezing boat, but the ship doesn't explode. The fumes clear. Suddenly, a massive rogue wave or a fierce gust of wind hits the Mary Celeste. The sails catch. The heavy ship surges forward with immense violence. The sudden, brutal force yanks the tow line. The rope goes taut, and then it snaps. Captain Benjamin Briggs, his wife Sarah, baby Sophia, and 7 men watch helplessly from a tiny, sinking wooden boat as their only hope of survival slowly sails away, perfectly intact, into the mist. The Mary Celeste did not end its life as a museum. It ended as a cursed object. For the next decade, no sailor wanted to touch her. She was sold from owner to owner at incredibly low prices. Crews believed she was haunted by the phantom of Sarah Briggs. She caught fire mysteriously. Captains fell ill and died on her deck. She was a vessel soaked in bad blood. Finally, in 1885, her final captain, a man named Gilman Parker, decided he had had enough. He filled the cursed ship with cheap cargo, heavily insured it, and deliberately drove the Mary Celeste straight into the jagged Rochloy Reef off the coast of Haiti. He tried to commit insurance fraud. He was caught. He died in poverty, a ruined man. The Mary Celeste was left there, impaled on the coral, slowly rotting away until the ocean finally swallowed the last of her wooden bones. The ocean took the ship, but it never gave up the bodies. To this day, not a single piece of clothing, not a single bone, not a single trace of Captain Briggs or his crew has ever washed ashore. They stepped off the edge of the world, and they became the eternal ghosts of the Atlantic.
Sails were set for the western breeze, a ghost ship dancing on the seas, table laid for a ghostly light, no one left in the cabin light. The logbook ends with a silent word, no final scream was ever heard. Oh, Mary Celeste, where did captain's sword and the chronometer, gone with the wind and the high barometer. No struggle found on the wooden deck, just a drift